You got the opportunity, you have fought him. Now, how will you describe Manny Pacquiao, the opponent that you have seen in your boxing career before you fought him and then after you fought him? And I remember watching one of your interviews when you said that he's a boxer that you respect so much. After fighting him, has your perception changed about him?
I respect him the same way I said. You see, but about him, I even said he's not a special fighter. He's just
just some few qualities.
Yes, one fighter. That fighter is to throw punches because he's a smaller guy from life right to where he is. So in actual fact, if he makes the weight and he can take punches, he can beat most of the guy because he's a little guy from where he is. You see, but when you're talking about special fighters, I think Oscar De La Hoya, Ray Jones, they are the special fighters because they can create something in the game. But Manny Pacquiao is just some normal fighter. But now he's the fighter of the decade.
Sure.
You see, because of the way he's performing, I have respect for him. I have respect for all my opponents. You see, and but you know, I lost to him because I have to lose that day.
Could this have been the most difficult fight you've had in your career?
No, not really. To be fair with you, it's not tough. It's not the toughest fight of my career. I'm telling you facts. Nothing. I feel normal like Margarita Cotto. The toughest fight of my career is the Richard Gutierrez guy.
Okay.
He's the toughest fight. I feel normal. The only thing is I don't do my job. I don't throw the hands. If like I do, I would have beat him. By the end of the day, I can tell everybody that I wasn't there because I have a very rough day.
Well, Pacquiao.
Now, I happened to run across this video a while ago, and this thing has been on my mind before I actually even seen this video that I just played, little clip I just played of Joshua Clottey. That was an interview when he first arrived back in Accra, Ghana, after the fight with Manny Pacquiao. Now, I'm not being funny or sarcastic or nothing. Some people might have a hard time understanding what they were saying. You know, I grew up around a lot of African people, you know, from different parts of Africa. So, you know, I understand it clear. So I'll just kind of summarize what he was saying right there. Basically, he was saying, the guy was asking him, what's your opinion about Manny Pacquiao? He was saying, I respect Manny Pacquiao, but to me, Manny Pacquiao is just a fighter that throws punches. In other words, he was saying, he's just one-dimensional in his eyes. He's nothing special. Like, special is Roy Jones Jr., what he was doing at the peak of his career. That putting his hands behind his back, doing stuff, that's special. Oscar De La Hoya at his peak of his career, those were guys that brought special things to the sport. But Manny Pacquiao is just a guy that can take punches and throw a lot of punches without getting tired. So to him, he's just another fighter. And another thing he mentioned is he wasn't his toughest fighter of his career. But the key thing, if you was listening to that video, if you was observing, the key thing Joshua Clottey said is, I don't know if you peeped it, he didn't say in America, he didn't have much interviews in America after that fight, besides the post-fight press conference. He was out, he was hopped on that plane and he was out. We haven't seen him since. The key thing he said in that interview was, I just know that I didn't do my job. I just know that that day I had to lose. Pause. Now, I've been thinking to myself, I get at the point, this fight is fixed. That fight for Clottey and Pacquiao was fixed. Now, people go, how can a boxing match be fixed? Did you see Pacquiao's face after the fight? I understand, right? A boxing match can be fixed. Bob Arum can tell you, look, man, you're going to fight Manny Pacquiao, but don't get him hurt. And if you do get him hurt, you'll know when you got a guy hurt. Don't finish him off, okay? Manny Pacquiao's the bigger name. Manny Pacquiao has the bigger fan base. Manny Pacquiao is more money, more dollars, more cents. Okay, not just in Bob Arum's eyes, but anybody that watches the sport. Joshua Clottey wins that fight, and it's like, damn, you know, of course the spotlight would be on him, but that dude don't even have much of a fan base. Most of his fan base is literally in Accra, Ghana, where he's from. And I'm sure other parts of Africa too support him for the fact that he's an African fighter representing that country. But, I mean, representing that continent as a whole. But, you know, Accra, Ghana, specifically the country you're from. But Manny Pacquiao has all the Philippines and, like I said, half of America on his side. So the popularity is no contest. You know, Bob Arum can't afford for Manny Pacquiao to lose to Joshua Clottey. Now, I know the next point y'all gonna say, Joshua Clottey doesn't throw a lot of punches. Joshua Clottey's a bum. Joshua Clottey is just defensive. He just stands there with his hands up. You know, people that say comments like that, that, you know, that I think that just when you call Joshua Clottey a bum, he doesn't deserve to fight Pacquiao. You know, is Pacquiao on another level than Joshua Clottey? In some ways, yes. But I tell you what, the size and the strength Joshua Clottey has, they call him the hitter. I've seen a lot of Joshua Clottey's fights. You know, I'm a fan of Joshua Clottey and his brother Emmanuel Clottey too. They fight similar, and I've seen both of them are good fighters in my eyes. Joshua Clottey's a little better than his brother, but his brother's a pretty damn good fighter too. Both of them have solid competition that he's faced against. You know, Joshua Clottey, he throws more punches than what he thrown against Pacquiao fight. You take the 10 best punches out of that Pacquiao fight, and Joshua Clottey throw them. The only problem is, like we all know, he threw it once every 6 months. And to me, he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose. I was thinking about this, floating around with this for a while. I didn't want to believe it. I said, nah, man, the best guy will win a fight. The best guy will win a fight. But nah, man, I'm not 100% sure, because I would be an asshole if I was to assume something for 100%. I'm not 100% sure, but I would say my opinion on this matter is like 75% says yes, it's fixed. 25% says no, it's not fixed. But I'm starting to lean more towards, as you can see, 75% that this fight was fixed, man. Because it makes sense. If I don't want to make this video all long, I can show you clips, man. I've been following up on Joshua Clottey before he was even a mainstream like that. I've been watching his fights. You know, I have a friend actually that's from Accra, Ghana, and I've seen fights that people probably never even seen, like his third, his fourth fight. You know what I mean? Before he even came to the U.S., Joshua Clottey talks trash. I'll tell you that right now before fights. I understand you respect your opponent, but that doesn't mean not that he's a big trash talker, but he always, man, I don't want to make this video long, but Joshua Clottey, maybe I'll put on clips later on after this video. He always has stuff to say. He had stuff to say about Paul Williams when he thought Paul Williams was ducking and dodging him. He called Citron a pussy, stuff like that. Joshua Clottey always called people out. He always wanted to fight the best opposition, okay? And, you know, I don't want to talk about he's one-dimensional, he's defensive, he's a bum, he's not an elite fighter at this level, you know what I mean? I don't want to talk about that. Like I said, people who say that, you know what I mean? I just ignore that shit, man. I just ignore that shit. Because in reality, Joshua Clottey, I feel if he had fought Pacquiao the way he fought Cotto, I'm not saying Pacquiao win the one, because Pacquiao, to me, you know, Clottey says in his eyes he's just another fighter. I understand what he's saying. He's not like spectacular the way Roy Jones or De La Hoya was in their prime. I understand what he's saying. But to me, the thing that's unique about Pacquiao is his footwork. I give him that. His footwork is very unique. But yeah, in other words, he's just a puncher that doesn't run out of energy. You know what I mean? And his hand speeds is extremely fast. But it's not that we haven't seen other hand speeds before that are, you know, like his or close to his. But I mean, his hand speed to go along with his power, to go along with his footwork, his movement in and out, that's what makes him so unique, and he just keeps beating guys up. You know what I mean? But I just, you know, want people to think about this, man. Clottey left the U.S. We haven't heard from him since. I mean, you know, I did read a thing that he supposedly might fight on the undercard of Mayorga and Cotto, supposedly, but it's not for sure yet. But ever since then, it's like Bob Arum said, like, go home, go to your country, and stay out of America for a while. You see what I'm saying? And it's like that interview that he had in Ghana, he could be more open, he could be more real because he was at home. You know what I mean? But I mean, thank God for stuff like YouTube or live stream or CNN World News, because stuff like that, you find out things that are going on in other countries and they get back to the States. You see what I'm saying? And I think that fight was fixed, man. I think really it was fixed. Bob Arum tried to cover it up, so, you know, he gave him his money. Clottey was satisfied. You ain't gonna turn down money. That's moolah. That's the cash, man. You ain't gonna turn that down. So if you say, hey, man, listen, you're lucky to even be having this fight in reality. Not that he's not a deserving opponent, but just the way the sport works from a business aspect, you're lucky to be even getting this fight, because technically you lost to Cotto, even though we know in reality he beat Cotto. But technically in the sport, according to record-wise, he lost to Cotto. So you're lucky to even have this fight. Take this money and run with it. Make sure you don't get my fighter hurt. You can fight him. You can hit him. But don't get him hurt. I mean, listen to the clip. I had to lose. I just knew that day I had to lose this fight. I didn't do my job. If I had fought him like I had fought Cotto, I would have killed him. Now, I don't think he would have killed Pacquiao. Because when Pacquiao, especially if you don't get him out of there early, you know, he will start to accumulate punches on you. But that fight would not have been one-sided like it was. Definitely would have. You know, in my belief, really, I think he could have hurt Pacquiao bad. You know, which brings me to my next point. Shane Mosley versus Pacquiao. I don't want to make a prediction on the fight right now, but is Shane Mosley just doing this for money, or is he gonna be able to release that right hand straight onto Manny and knock him out? Is Arum gonna give him a chance to do that? Because with Arum, it's a lot of shady shit, man. Seems like he fixed that match. It's got me thinking about Pacquiao and Mosley. You know, just something to think about. Leave me comments and, you know, let me know how y'all view it. And another thing too, I forgot to say. Anytime Manny Pacquiao fights, there's a 24/7, right? How come there was just for this fight, just a one special episode Road to Dallas thing, which basically both fighters talked about their homeland and how much they loved each other and respected each other so much. That's not the Clottey I know. He respects his opponents, but when it comes time to fight, he stands up and he will give his opponents weaknesses and his strengths and say how he's going to win the fight. I like Manny Pacquiao. I respect Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Like, too buddy to buddy, it's almost as if I know to myself, this man is saying, I know what I have to do when I go in that ring. I know I have to do it Bob Arum's way. So there's no need for me to show pride or really talk about Manny negative. Just talk about Manny positively, collect this check, and let's go. How come there was no 24/7, man? Because 24/7, you know, it shines a little light on a reality of what goes on behind the scenes. But I think this fight, they were so much skeptical about people not finding out that it's supposedly fixed. So, you know, maybe that's why they ain't do no 24/7. You know, maybe, I don't know.